What's going on, goats? Welcome back to BooKoo Bucks. My name is Raymo, and today I'll be breaking down my losing trade on gold futures this morning. I honestly forgot to take a picture of my executions, so I will pull this up. This is my chart that I had before price ended up falling on lower. This is gold forex, but I did take my trade on gold futures, so I think this will also be a good opportunity for me to break down kind of how I view the market when I'm trying to trade either gold forex or gold futures, and how I kind of utilize them both to help with one or the other. So let's go ahead and break down why I was looking for shorts. The main reason why I was looking for shorts is mainly due to the 30-minute time frame, maybe the 1 hour as well. 1 hour is perfectly fine, but I was looking mainly at the 30-minute. We had price give us a structure low here, 30-minute structure low, as price led into a 30-minute structure high here. But if you notice, price broke underneath. So at that point, I was viewing this as a break of structure. So mark this up as a BOS. If this is truly a BOS, let's go ahead and plot the low. If it is truly a BOS, price should give a pullback, create a lower high, and then move on lower. So the first thing I did was I pulled out my fib to see if price was in premium. And if you notice here, price came up and tapped into premium. I also noticed that price took out Asia's high, as we understand that this is a great area for price to target to take out buy sell liquidity, or sell side liquidity, in this case, to be buy side, before pushing in the opposite direction. So not only are we seeing price take out buy sell liquidity above a significant high, which is the Asia high, we see price tap into premium, and from here, structure is bearish, so I'm basically looking for shorts. If I go over to gold forex, we have something very similar. We have the structure high down to low, BOS, pull back into premium, and then anticipated price to go lower. But if you notice in here, price technically didn't take out Asia's high. In the moment, I basically stated that we should watch out for these equal highs, meaning price may want to take out these equal highs. But at the same time, let's watch to see how price reacts to this continuation order block. This is a continuation order block because this order block is in premium. As we see here, this last buy to sell move, and price takes out buy sell liquidity here. So if you notice, nothing changes too much in the sense of if you're trading gold forex, we're still looking for shorts. If you're trading gold futures, we're looking for shorts. The difference is gold futures took out Asia's high. In this case, it didn't, but we are tapping into a high probability continuation order block. So basically, that's the main reason why I was looking for shorts. Now, coming over here to gold futures, seeing price take out let me switch this up real quick. Seeing price took out Asia's high, and so seeing that price was in premium, I was again looking for the shorts. So what I do is I watch the M1 time frame to see how price reacts in this area. So here, usually as I teach, I want to look for a M1 BOS. So at this point in time, this would be my structure low up to my structure high. So ideally, if I want to take a short position, I want to see price break the low and then pull back, look for a short there, and then look for price to move on lower. But in this case, if you notice, price would have had to move a minimum of basically, what is that, 73 points to give us that break of structure. So I'm not saying price can't do that, but realistically, are we really going to wait for price to move potentially 70 points or more and then wait for price to pull back if it even pulls back at that point and then look for shorts? Or am I going to try to utilize a change of character type of entry? Well, in this case, seeing that price would have had to drop a lot lower to give the break of structure, I was willing to potentially use a change of character style of an entry. So if you notice here, price actually gave a new low here. And I'm going to classify this as a chain of character. Why? Because this is an internal low. This is a structure low to the structure high. Any high and low within the range is going to be internal structure. So the moment I seen price give a new internal lower low after taking out Asia's high, at this point, I was trying to pull my fib out from this high to this low from a fractal perspective and then look for shorts. Price went ahead and gave me a bearish engulfing candle. Again, I'm trying to play with this specific range, so my stop loss was actually above this high by a tick. And if you notice, price came up, tagged my stop loss, and then pushed down lower. So that's basically how I lost this trade. Ultimately, my stop loss was a tad bit too tight, and this is the difficult part about using internal structure since you're not using true structure points. My stop loss should have been up here to save myself ultimately, or even just even a tick higher would have been perfectly fine, or a point higher, I should say here. But ultimately, would have been best to have my stop loss up here, allowed price to play out, because once again, anything within the range is going to be internal structure, right? So, looking back at it now, we can actually see how price gave the break of structure there. We could have been potentially using this structure high down to this low here. This is the new M1 high down to the new M1 low. Not a valid pullback, sideways movement. Even then, it's not even a valid pullback. One candlestick pullback, and then we get the roll pullback up here into premium. Now from here, we could have done one or two things. We could have waited for the bearish engulfing candle, or we could have just simply just shorted somewhere up here in premium. But realistically, our stop loss would have to be above the M1 high because obviously price can do whatever it wants within the range. Or potentially we could have been a tad bit more aggressive and tried to identify a lower time frame change of character or break of structure. I would classify this as a chain of character as this is within the structure's range. Maybe the 30-second might look a tad bit better here. So we see price makes a new low here, and then from here, potentially we could use this high down to this low, allowed price to come up into premium, and then maybe shorted. There probably is a M1 extreme order block up here. We'll see. In this case, it wouldn't work out. This would have to be the M1 order block. Maybe we can find a 45-second order block just for the fun of it. 45-second is still up here too. So ultimately, price just comes up into premium. Price is technically tapping into this 1 minute order block. Potentially, you could have just simply simplified this by doing one or two things. You could have easily just drew up the 50% of the order block. So if you plot this up, order block, here's the 50% of it. As you notice, price basically taps it there, just like that. Or we could have simply just been looking to short in premium. Either way, could have taken a short off of this bearish engulfing candle, stop loss above this high, and then given us a better risk reward setup. But I was not up this late, to be quite honest with you guys, so I did not take another entry here. I took that one short entry, got stopped out, and then price ran off without me. So the good thing is price did go in the direction that I was anticipating, but price stopped me out and wasn't able to capitalize on this move. One thing I'll point out here too, if you guys did not understand what I meant from looking at things from a fractal perspective, if you notice here on the 15-second time frame, this was the 15-second high down to the low. That's why I drew this fib right here. Price came up, tapped into premium, and then made a new low here. So I was anticipating price to continue doing something like this. But if you notice, price was once again in internal structure. Price can do whatever it wants within that range. If you notice, price just wanted a tad bit more liquidity before pushing on lower. So one thing I can learn for myself is potentially just moving my stop loss a tad bit higher, especially when working with internal structure points, because price is somewhat unpredictable. Same thing I believe on gold forex. Again, I did not trade this specifically, but I did mark it up for you guys. If you guys are watching this price action, you technically would have had to wait for price to break underneath this M1 low if you were waiting for a break of structure. But we could have also potentially have used this chain of character. And if you notice, price relatively did the exact same thing. High, low, lower, low, came up, even snagged this high before pushing on lower. And then on the 1 minute time frame, it looks like price got to the 50% from this high to this low, which it did. So price did get up into premium ever so slightly, and then shorts could have came in from there. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I think the only thing I was going to say is sometimes, as you can see, depending on which market you're trading, there will be a slight difference. For example, on gold here, you're simply shorting because price took out Asia's high. But on gold forex, you were shorting because price is actually tapping into a POI, in this case, the order block. It will be slightly different, but if you notice, they align pretty well. Of course, the two markets will be slightly different, but once again, they will typically align very well. So you kind of can um, use each other to help with the other, meaning if gold forex is bearish, most likely for gold futures, you're going to be bearish as well, and vice versa. So that's basically how I kind of utilize the two to help out with my analysis for both. And unfortunately, like I said, got stopped out, but we are, or I was using a chain of character type of scenario. So at least at the very least, you guys can understand kind of when I would use a chain of character rather than a breaker structure. And even then, sometimes you'll notice that even if you use a chain of character because you're worried that price isn't going to give you the breaker structure, with a pullback as you anticipated, sometimes it still does. So it's just part of the game and the risk that you take while trading. Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop them down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.